Hey, I'm back with another magical art crafting video, and I'm going to be adding some more cards into my homemade oracle deck. These are just some of the cards that are already in my deck. And these are some of the cards I had already painted and drawn up. So I'm adding, in total I'm going to be adding 6 more cards to my deck. And here I'm adding detail to a sugar skull. Well, it's going to be turned into a sugar skull. So this deck is going to be about self-care, and sometimes you might not feel all that great physically or spiritually. You might have a lot of brain fog, so this is just to point you in the right direction. And so this is a sugar skull, and well, to me personally, it's representing getting back in touch with your roots. I am of Mexican descent. So this just reminds me to get back in touch with my roots. Just adding some detail on there, just some traditional, some flower petals around the eyes. I'm actually just going to be adding as much color as I can on this, make it really traditional, and make it look very much like a sugar skull, like a Catrina. And the Catrina represents the Day of the Dead, and that's celebrating, life, passing into the next life. It also, more deeply, more traditionally, it represents sticking to your roots. The Catrina was something that Jose Guadalupe Posada created, and he was a Mexican printmaker. And basically he designed her to satirize upper class of Mexico who adopted European customs. And so it intended to critique the vanity of those who sought distance between themselves and their indigenous roots. And that's just to never forget where you come from, to stay humble, Honestly, I could go on a lot about it, but yeah, that this is what that represents to me. On the far left, there is that's a card that would represent singing. Since this is a self-care deck, one thing that really helps sometimes is singing. Just getting the vibrations going through the body really helps move energy and really is amazingly cleansing. And then in the middle there with the rose, that represents the Virgin of Guadalupe. And she also represents roots, but more like, I think, Mother Earth type roots, because that's how I envision her. Here actually, I remember I wasn't gonna use yellow in this skull because I thought maybe it might not show up too good with the paper being kind of orangey already, and the gold of the skull. But it actually, like, it shows up really good, and I think I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. And to be honest here, actually, I was inspired by this tablecloth that I have. It's like one of those plastic tablecloths, and I got it at the dollar store, but I just thought it was really cute. I did use some of it for the Day of the Dead celebrations. But I've been wanting to wrap it around something and or I don't know, make pages of it, maybe put it in my grimoire or something. It's just a really cute tablecloth, and yeah, it really inspired this here. Maybe I should have showed a picture of it, but let's see here. And now I'm sketching out. This is an Egyptian symbol, and this is the symbol for Osir, or also known as Osiris. Osir being his Kemetic name, and Kemetic comes from the name Kemet, which is the original name of Egypt. So this Jed here, it's the symbol of, it's known as It's called a Jed, but it's also known as the backbone of Osiris. Um, so this is to symbolize stability and endurance. Um, Here I just darkened it up. And now I'm sketching out the Tiet. And this is for the goddess Aset. And that would be Isis. This here, of course, is a it's a knot that represents, you know, binding and bringing things together. It's a very feminine symbol. And now I am painting up the star of the deck. I made this deck in working with the goddess Bastet, and she's an Egyptian goddess, or as I also call them, Neteru, which, you know, Osiris and Isis would also be a Neteru. And that's what the Phoenicians would call their gods and goddesses, is the Neteru. But the goddess Bastet, she is she represents, of course, femininity, but more than anything, and very importantly, because this is a medicine type of deck, and self-care, and she is extremely medicinal. She has great energy. She's just very she's very healing. And she is a cat goddess, so that also like a house cat, so, you know, that also represents the well-being within the home as well. And now I'm coloring these Phoenician symbols up with the gold. I wanted them to have a really bold, dark outline to make them really pop, because I think that these symbols are very important. And honestly, the way I see this symbol, because it is known as the backbone, it just really reminds me of that whole saying, like, you know, having a backbone and to just endure. Paint in this Tiet with the gold as well. And this because it is a knot. Actually, it's said that the Egyptians were very, very good with knot magic. And very suiting because the goddess Isis is the goddess of magic. Femininity and it's probably not much of a coincidence that it resembles an ankh, a traditional ankh, the symbol of life. And well, women bring in life, so that's very fitting. Bastet, her name translates to Lady of Ointment or Lady of Medicine. At some point I was a little bit worried about this card. I wasn't sure if I was gonna reach a level of where I could look at this card and actually like it, because I don't know, it just, I don't know, it really ended up coming to life, which I'm really proud of. So she's a goddess, so she needs her jewelry. She needs to be jeweled up like a goddess. And then this, I purposely put these colors in her necklace. I ended up putting some blue to represent lapis lazuli, crystal or stone that they used a lot. Some of this turquoise to represent turquoise. the blush, I guess, around the heart. And so I'm just taking this red orange and blending it inward. And I'm trying my very best to catch this on camera. And now I'm just blending in toward the middle with this light pink. I didn't quite catch that it wasn't in frame, but I also learned in this video to record from my left side because I'm right-handed and I keep covering stuff up and it keeps not being in frame. And on my left side, well, you could see things more. But at first I wasn't really sure how much of the other card was in frame. So I just decided to do another example. Yeah, so it's just a dark outline and then it just starts fading in, and then I just blend in further with some pink. How Bassett's eyes glowing. And I added a little bit of highlights on her face just to bring her features out a little more. And I'm really liking the way she's looking, but I thought she needed more jewelry. Give her some whiskers. Outline her necklace a little more. And then off camera, I just colored in all those two other hearts. I figured I might just add some more later, and that's the cool part about making your own oracle or your own tarot set. You can always add to it, and yeah, I think someday I'll add or make my own Rider-Waite type of deck, but I've really had fun with this one. Putting in a little moon for her. here I added some highlights on her face and her little eyes, her nose, jewelry. If you see me messing with the mouse in this video, I sometimes record while I'm at work. I probably shouldn't say that, but sometimes there's some downtime. Or hey, sometimes I just record during my lunch as well, so. And then I was looking at my cards, and then I was looking at these cards, and I was like, well, actually, I was looking at these cards first. I was like, something's missing. They don't quite sync up with my my other cards. And I was like, oh, of course, I have to add a ton of sparkles. So I do that to everything. And I've tried not to, but I just really like sparkles. And my favorite part is adding these little dots. These all sparkly dots. That little brushie was working really good for a little while, but like I always say, I can't really get the sharpness I want with brushes all the time, so I usually use this sculpting tool with a little rubbery edge on it. What I do is like I get some white paint and I water it down just a tad bit, and then I dip the little sculpting tool in it. I get a good amount, a generous amount of the white paint. I put it down in one little dot, and then I spread it out from the middle out, and it gives you perfect little stars. I think I went a little bit more wild with these, with the sparkles, but I'm very happy with that. to make sure the bastard was especially sparkly. I wish the light would catch that iridescent pink more. So now I'm gonna glue down these cutout hearts on this thicker piece of cardstock. They just feel a lot better. I really like the way they turned out, their thickness and the way they handle. So. And actually this the pattern for the cards is actually from a little tin of crystals that I got from a online store that's called Goddess Provisions, and they used to send out monthly subscription boxes, and they sent out this heart-shaped tin with little crystals in it, and it had a card in there, and it explained like what all the gems are for and what they help with. But the little card just felt so right in my hand, and I had a light bulb moment. And because I had been thinking of making my own little deck, but I wanted to make it a different shape, just for fun. Why not? And I couldn't really think of one that was simple enough that I could make it. And I know they're not going to turn out exactly the same because I'm cutting them out, but the difference isn't that bad. Smoothing these out so that this is just some wrapping paper. I have tons of it still, and I bought it maybe 2 or 3 years back. I use it for a lot of stuff, but I still have a lot of it, which is actually why I bought it. And then here, man, the cheetah spots, or leopard, jaguar. But yeah, just more feline energy, and it's also a pattern that I actually have fun drawing it. So I decided to do that to the back of these cards because this is a pattern that I really don't mind drawing over and over. It's just really fun to me. And again, I was like, oh man, I don't know how much in frame the card and all that, but so I just did another one for reference. This actually also reminds me of when I was was a teenager, and I used to like putting my outfits together at night before morning came. And that night, I remember having a cheetah print cardigan, and I was like, oh man, I wish I had some leopard print shoes. Oh man. Oh, I know. So I had these flats, and I ended up like painting them. I think I painted them gold, but not like a crazy gold. And then I just drew in the cheetah print. And this marker is super dry, so I'll leave that. And originally, I was like, I don't know why. Well, actually, they were kind of like the only good markers I had at the time. So I kind of used these dry erase ones. I knew that the color would erase on them, and I didn't really mind. And I was trying to do that to these so they could just kind of match up more. And I don't know why they really weren't erasing now. The blue one kind of did, but that red one really didn't budge. But these are the cards, and now I'm gonna include them into my deck. And yeah, let's shuffle these. Finally done. Cards there. So here's the finished cards. And I like them because they're just they're a good shape and a good size. And I can shuffle them really easily. And now I'm just shuffling, see what comes out, just to show more of the cards in the deck. There's some Palo Santo, some sage, some bay leaves, the moon, the jet, sugar skull. That's the Tiet singing, and then that candle. It's garlic and the black candle, like protection magic, an egg, of course, for. That's a teacup for like, drink some nice tea. Some herbal tea. So yeah, this is how they turned out, and I'm really happy. There's an egg right there, that's for egg cleanses. So that's how they turned out. Thank you so much for watching.